Imagine the secret behind the success of the world's biggest companies like Amazon, Facebook, and Uber. This secret is not a high-tech algorithm or a breakthrough product, but something much simpler and yet extraordinarily powerful. It's the power of networking effects. Now, you may ask, what exactly are networking effects? Well, it's a principle that states that each additional user of a good or service adds to the value of that product for others. Think of it as a snowball rolling down a hill, gathering more snow and momentum as it goes along. The more people that use a product or service, the more valuable it becomes. Consider a social media platform, for example. The first user of that platform doesn't get much value from it. After all, they have no one to interact with. But as soon as more people join, the value for that first user increases. They now have friends to connect with, photos to comment on, and posts to share. And it doesn't stop there. Each new user that joins the platform increases the value for all the existing users. It's a cycle that feeds on itself, growing exponentially over time. This concept is not limited to social media. It extends to e-commerce platforms, ride-sharing services, and even online marketplaces. Any platform that benefits from having more users, more interactions, and more connections can harness the power of networking effects. So why is this so important in the world of finance and investing? Because companies that can tap into the power of networking effects often experience explosive growth. They can rapidly scale their user base, increase their market share, and generate significant revenue. This makes them attractive investment opportunities. But it's not just about the potential for high returns. Understanding networking effects can also help investors identify risks and opportunities, make informed decisions, and ultimately build a more robust and diversified portfolio. So the power of networking effects is what fuels the growth of these giant corporations. But how does it impact the world of finance and investing? Take Amazon, for instance, a company that has harnessed the power of networking effects to dominate the e-commerce industry. Amazon is a prime example of a business that has expertly leveraged networking effects. It's not just an e-commerce giant, it's a perfect illustration of how a platform can grow exponentially by capitalizing on the power of its network. Let's break it down. Amazon started as a simple online bookstore. As more customers began to use Amazon for their book purchases, more booksellers were drawn to the platform. Why? Because the sellers go where the customers are. But this is only half of the story. The true genius of Amazon lies in its ability to continuously expand its product offerings, attracting an ever-growing pool of diverse sellers. From books to electronics, fashion to groceries, Amazon has become a one-stop shop for just about anything you need. This vast selection attracts more buyers, which in turn attracts more sellers, creating a virtuous cycle of growth. This is the power of networking effects. The value of Amazon's platform increases for both buyers and sellers as the number of participants grows. For buyers, the value lies in the convenience and wide range of products. For sellers, the value is in the access to a vast customer base. Moreover, Amazon didn't stop at e-commerce. It expanded into digital streaming, cloud computing, and even artificial intelligence with products like Alexa. Each new venture brought in new users, further strengthening its network, making it even more attractive for sellers and developers. The result? Unprecedented growth and a market dominance that few can rival. As of 2024, Amazon boasts hundreds of millions of active users and is valued at over $1 trillion. That's trillion with a T. But here's the kicker. Amazon's growth isn't just good for Amazon, it's good for investors too. The company's stock has seen a meteoric rise over the years, turning early investors into millionaires and billionaires. Amazon's success story is a classic example of how networking effects can drive business growth and offer attractive investment opportunities. Moving on to the social media giant Facebook, another perfect specimen of networking effects. Let's dive into Facebook's journey. When it was first launched in 2004, it was a modest platform, a mere blip on the digital map. Fast forward to today, and it's a behemoth, boasting a user base of nearly 3 billion people across the globe. This is no fluke. It's a classic example of networking effects in action. As more and more people joined Facebook, its value increased exponentially. Imagine the early days. You log in, and there's only a handful of your friends on the platform. It's fun, sure, but not particularly useful or engaging. As the user base grew, however, so did the network's value. Suddenly, you could connect with almost everyone you knew, and even those you didn't. You could share your thoughts, photos, and life events with a wide audience. This made the platform more attractive to new users, creating a self-perpetuating cycle of growth. But it wasn't just users who found value in Facebook's expanding network. Advertisers began to see the potential in reaching such a large and engaged audience. Facebook offered a unique opportunity to target ads based on user interests, behaviors, and demographics. This led to a surge in ad revenue for Facebook, which saw its annual revenue grow from about $7.5 billion in 2011 to $86 billion in 2020. In essence, every new user that joined Facebook added value to the network, not just for themselves and other users, but also for the company's bottom line. The more the network grew, the more revenue it generated, creating a virtuous cycle of growth and value creation. This is the power of networking effects. It's not just about the number of users, but the value that each user brings to the network. It's about how the growth of the network increases its value, creating a self-perpetuating cycle that can lead to incredible success. Facebook's rise to the top of the social media world is a testament to the power of networking effects in creating value for investors. Now, let's shift gears to Uber, a company that has revolutionized the ride-sharing industry using networking effects. A pivotal player in the gig economy, Uber's business model is a textbook example of how networking effects can drive growth. A simple yet ingenious idea, Uber connects drivers with riders through an easy-to-use app, but it's the networking effects that really put the pedal to the metal. In the early days, Uber was a service primarily used by the tech-savvy and urban dwellers. But as more and more riders began to use the app, it started to generate a buzz. This buzz attracted more drivers, who were enticed by the prospect of flexible work hours and the ability to earn an income on their own terms. As the number of drivers increased, wait times for rides decreased. This convenience factor attracted even more riders to the platform. And so, the virtuous cycle of growth began. More riders meant more drivers, and more drivers meant more riders. This cycle, fueled by networking effects, drove Uber's rapid expansion across the globe. From just a few cities in the United States, Uber now operates in over 600 cities worldwide. And it's not just ride-sharing. Uber has leveraged these networking effects to expand into food delivery with Uber Eats and freight logistics with Uber Freight. However, it's important to note that while networking effects have been a key catalyst for Uber's growth, they've also presented challenges. As the company grows, so does its need to manage an ever-increasing network of drivers and riders. This has led to regulatory hurdles, safety concerns, and labor issues. But despite these challenges, Uber continues to push forward, driven by the power of its network. To sum it up, Uber's disruption of the transportation industry is a testament to the power of networking effects. It has created a new way of doing things that has not only transformed how we get from point A to point B, but also opened up a world of possibilities for gig workers. Uber's disruption of the transportation industry is yet another example of how networking effects can create lucrative investment opportunities. So, what does all this mean for finance and investing? We've taken a journey through the digital landscape, exploring how giants like Amazon, Facebook, and Uber have harnessed the power of networking effects. They've built empires, transforming the way we shop, communicate, and commute. But how does this translate to the world of finance and investing? Let's circle back to the key takeaways. The first is the value creation through networking effects. The more users a platform has, the more valuable it becomes. It's a self-perpetuating cycle, a snowball effect. Companies that can tap into this powerful dynamic are often able to achieve rapid growth and dominate their respective markets. This leads us to the second point. Dominance in the market translates to financial strength. Companies with strong networking effects often have robust financial performances. They generate substantial revenues and often impressive profits. This financial strength can make these companies attractive investment prospects. So how can investors use this knowledge? Well, an understanding of networking effects can be a powerful tool in identifying potential investment opportunities. It can help investors spot companies that are poised for rapid growth and market dominance. Let's consider a hypothetical scenario. Say you're looking at a startup that's developed a new social media platform. It's got a unique concept and a slick interface, but it's still in its early stages. However, you recognize that if this platform can attract a critical mass of users, it could trigger a powerful networking effect, leading to rapid growth and potentially significant returns on investment. But remember, while networking effects can lead to dramatic growth, they're not a guarantee of success. Companies need to continuously innovate and adapt to stay ahead of the competition and keep their users engaged. In the world of finance and investing, understanding the power of networking effects can be the key to unlocking significant returns. So the next time you're evaluating an investment, remember to consider the networking effects.